What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by the Movie Hangout. Now, not only do I enjoy watching movies, I also like to read. It's important. You got to diversify your entertainment. You also got to educate yourself constantly. So I like to read books about screenwriting, filmmaking, history, a lot of nonfiction, but also I like to read fiction. And I especially like to read the behind the scenes stories to some of our favorite films that really shape the culture, films that we watched as kids that we can watch now as adults, and they still ring true, and they still hold up. They're timeless. And that movie that I think is timeless, one that is even better now as an adult than when I watched it as a child, is The Princess Bride. And this book, I really, really enjoyed it. I just wanted some light reading because of just how serious and crazy the world is. So I needed something to lift my spirit a little bit. So the title of this book is As You Wish, and it's written by Cary Elwes, who is the actor that played the man in black from The Princess Bride. Co-written by Joe Layden. And there's a foreword by director Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner is a phenomenal director. He did Stand By Me, Spinal Tap, The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, and there were others that he did as well. I mean, all of his films are really fantastic. And the full title of this is Inconceivable Tales from the Making of The Princess Bride. I love that because one of the characters in the film, the Sicilian that actor Wallace played, he says inconceivable, and he uses the word out of context, and he doesn't even know what the heck it even means. So I love this book. I really, really did. Cary Elwes does a good job of talking about his life a little bit, but it pretty much centers around this movie, The Princess Bride, because this film is what really got his career started and put on the map. And it brought all of these unlikely actors together to be in this film that really has lasted the test of time. So, it's not like a huge book. One thing I really love about this is that as you go through the book, it'll kind of like segue here in the gray area to different actors that were in the film. So Robin Wright Penn, who played Buttercup, she kind of gives her 2 cents about what was going on here. This is basically from the perspective of Cary Elwes, and then these are the other actors. Mandy Patinkin, he's the one that constantly said, you killed my father, prepare to die. He was fantastic in the film. So it's just really cool because the book jumps around to different people, but it does it in a way that it's not at all confusing. It's coherent and cohesive storytelling. Christopher Guest, who is the Six-Finger Man, he's the one that kills Mandy's character's father. He was also the lead in Spinal Tap. Carol Kane, Chris Sarandon, one of my favorite actors. He's like one of the main bad guys. He also played the vampire in Fright Night. But I really, and the titles of these are hilarious. True Love, even the titles of the chapters pertain to the movie. The pictures are really cool. Sometimes in these books, the pictures will just be kind of recycled stuff you can find on Google, but there's actually really cool behind the scenes stuff, like a Carrie right there, and him joking around with the sword and his funny wardrobe, and then the rats of unusual size gnawing on him. It's clearly a little person in a rubber suit. And then you got Andre the Giant, who was a super cool guy. If you love Andre the Giant, if you're not, even if you're not the biggest Princess Bride fan, but you're an Andre the Giant fan, you'll love this book because it's got so many stories about Andre the Giant and the type of just a great person he was, how he dealt with being so much bigger than the average human being. I mean, look at that. And it would get so cold on set, Robin Wright would be freezing, and look how big his hands are. Andre would just put his hand like on top of her head, like cup her head kind of, like a baseball mitt, and it would warm her up. Billy Crystal there playing Miracle Max. He's hilarious in the book. There's an interview with him. Rob's really funny. But there's a lot of really great photos here. And the book it's only 239 pages. And to be honest with you, I got through this thing like in a long weekend. And it just really flew by. It was really great. That's an updated screening with the surviving cast. You got Carrie Ells, Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, Chris Sarandon back there, Wally Shawn. Wally Shawn, he's been in a bunch of films. He's also more famously the voice of the T-Rex in the Toy Story franchise. And then you got Carol Kane, and then you got the famous Billy Crystal right there. So one of my favorite chapters in the whole thing is Vizzini and Miracle Max, because it talks about Billy Crystal's character in it. It's really, really funny. But if you want light reading, if you want to laugh, you want to smile, I would definitely suggest getting this book and or going down to your local library and borrowing it. It's really fantastic. I would give this book out of 5 masked men in black, I would give this a 5 out of 5 masked men in black. And I would give it a 5 out of 5 giants, 5 out of 5 screaming eels, 5 out of 5 buttercups. But go check it out. It's definitely worth a read. And as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later, guys.